What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Willie Rodriguez, and for the state of Florida, there's a lot of concern circling around Bill 1718 that is set to be signed on July 1st. So to bring on someone that has experience, we brought Martha Vega from National Community Services, that they're a nonprofit organization dedicated to immigration. She brings her knowledge and her team here to talk about what is going on for us to better understand how to prepare. Get ready for this episode because it is packed with information. Let's go.
Are you ready to grow? The Plant Movement with Willie Rodriguez of A's Ornamental Nursery in sunny South Florida is the podcast for those in the nursery business. Garden centers, landscapers, power growers, and plant enthusiasts. Willie is a passionate leader in the plant movement and has helped others grow their business into multi-million-dollar companies. This show will save you time, money, and headaches through top-notch education and by connecting you to experts in the industry. Let's grow. Here's your host, Willie Rodriguez.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Willie Rodriguez, and as always, guys, I like to bring on guests that bring something different to the table within the green industry, and today we have something very different for you guys. We actually have Martha Vega from National Community Services. Janet is here with us today, and they are just bringing solutions to the changing laws. It's about to happen on July, June 1st.
July 1st, the governor is going to sign this law.
July 1st. So they have an organization, a nonprofit that is dedicated, and Martha has dedicated her career to teaching and educating, packed filled with knowledge on what we all need to do, people as employees and also business owners and just everyone in general in the immigration side of things. And they bring solutions. They bring the know-how. They bring the attorneys. They bring so much to the table to protect us all and to guide us on these new laws that are going to be implemented starting July 1st here for the state of Florida. Martha, thank you so much, both of you, for coming today and taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know how busy you are,
Thank you.
to come down and speak with us and speak to the community and let them know that you guys are here. So that's good because a lot of people are lost. A lot of people don't know what they should be doing or what to do.
Exactly.
Okay, we all want to be correct. We want to run our businesses right. And as employees also, we want to be legal, legit, and have everything correct. We don't want to get in trouble. So now that things are changing, it's like, what can we do? How can we do it to be within the law? So to have somebody like you with an organization part of this, and also you have another company, it's called MV Consulting Advisor, which you have 25 people that work under you. And you guys do business advice, you do political consulting, you do consulting for organizations, tax preparation, immigration services. You guys do a lot of things aside from the nonprofit over at National Community Services. We have a lot to talk about today. Guys, I hope you're ready for today's episode. It's going to be a little bit different than the usual ones. And we have an extra guest here today, so hold on tight, guys. And if you guys do have any comments or questions, you can always go down wherever you're watching this. If you're watching on YouTube, and you can post it up there, and we can try to get that question answered for you as soon as possible. So tell us about I want to know about you first. What got you to want to do this as a career? And then from there, the nonprofit. And I have a bunch of questions I want to go through and ask you, scenario stuff, something that the viewer, the listener might be thinking. And then we'll continue from there.
Willie, good morning.
Yes.
Thank you for having me today here in this best program.
Thank you.
I know you give it the guys, give it the tools every single day for all businessmen, for the people, for the community to do the correct things.
Yes, we do.
We have right now a law that everyone is scared. Everyone is like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But we are here. We are here to let them know, look, this is the law. And we have the governor. Perfect. We're going to do whatever we can do to prevent, to don't sign. But he is the governor. What we need to do now, we have to educate to our community, to our business people, what they need to do. The only thing we need to do is don't break the law.
Yes.
And we don't break the law, believe it or not, we can do and continue keeping safety and all the people that are next to us. First of all the immigrants that just passed, they have asylum. They have the I-589. If you have asylum, don't scare. You have your letter. You have your proof. If something happened, the immigration services go through you, or he picks in the street or whatever restaurant, get a paper. Listen, show them. Here's my paperwork. Don't scare because you don't have the asylum yet, because it's not at this time by the judge, and the judge is telling to you, you are 100% with the asylum. You are in process, and the law stated clearly, you have all the procedures to be protected. If you follow the rules by the immigration services, just show the papers. That is very important. And another thing, if you don't have documentation, if you don't have the papers, just put it whatever paper you have in your mouth and do this. What does it mean? You cannot speak, you cannot say anything until whatever law go through you and defend your rights.
Yeah,
because
lawyer.
maybe you don't know the rights. But the most important part today is one, all of us has a national community services, because it's our mission. Our mission is educate the people, educate through the immigration services, educate to be a better person as a professional. If you don't have a high level education, we give you the tools to, you can be certified, doing an electrician, doing a garden, doing something. But if you cross the border to be in this country, you have to do the correct things.
Yes.
You need to don't break the law. Why? Because if this country give you the opportunity to you have to study, you have to educate, and you have to go through organizations, which is a federal organizations qualified by the government, 501c3, that they have experience. They are transparent. They really give you the tools to you to help you, not to help the organization for, destroying all the ethics, because a lot of organizations, they are doing that. But National Community Services is working to give you the tools to the people. And this time, just I want to explain to everyone, individuals, if you are in case procedure, if you are in case, don't scare, just show the paper. Try to keep the paper in your purse and your car, everywhere.
No, but that is if when that happens. But for right now, you guys in the National Community Service, what are some of the things that you guys do there that you offer that someone can reach out and call you guys?
Perfect. Right now, as an organization, the first thing we did is just to call our embassies and to do seminars.
Okay.
Know your rights.
Okay.
With a couple of lawyers from immigration, experts working more than 30 or 35 years with us. So they go through the seminars in our office too and give you the tools. We let them know if you are under the law or you are totally out the law.
Okay.
So in that case, they cannot do anything because we are not there to push them to break the law. We are there to give you the tools so they can do the correctly things.
To do the correct thing. That's what that nonprofit National Community Service does.
Yes.
So it's guidance and knowledge that people can better prepare themselves and see what options they have.
Super. It is right. Look, because a lot of people, they are here and they have a LLC. If you have a LLC and you have all the paperwork and your case, your status is on the line or under the law, you don't have to scare.
Yeah.
Because you have all the paperwork as the law is the mandatory. So the only thing they need to know, I qualify for this, I can continue doing this, go to our address. We are in 3951 Northwest 7th Street, Miami, Florida, 33126, Suite H. And we have a phone number, it's at 305-244-3125, 305-244-3125, or 305-303-3092. Go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, we'll
we
put
have
all your
all the
information at the
thank you.
bottom.
So you need to come because I can look, Janet, she is an individual person. And you maybe have the same case. We cannot give you the same information for both of you because each
Everybody's
case
different.
is different.
Everybody's different.
So that is very important that we cannot say to them, listen, do this, do that, because we cannot do it. Okay. First of all, we had a bunch of lawyers so they can do all the consulting and say, under the law, you can do this and that, and it's going to be okay. It's true. It's a couple of points that the really people, the immigrant people is scared. Immigrant people that may be here for years and years and years. But again, listen, read and understand the law. Why we are fighting to say, please, Governor DeSantis, we don't fight about you want to protect us because you want to do this because you want to protect the state, but we want to put everyone in different case because it's not fair to put all of them together and just one back.
Yeah.
So it's the only thing, and has a citizenship because I came as an immigrant and I'm here 30 years. One of my daughters in the Air Force, she went to ICE to the war. She defended this country. My other daughter, she represents the community here, the immigrant community at Homestead. I'm working for more than 26 years in education with Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And I work as consulting academic studies in the Air Force of the United States for more than 15 years.
Wow.
All of this that you see that I'm working is a volunteer job.
Oh, this is.
I don't get any pay for this.
Okay.
We are doing because as an immigrant, I have a passion to give you the tools to everyone coming to this country and to do the correctly things. Because it's a way to do things that even you don't think when I can as a tourist people or I can like have a businessman, oh, my visa is gonna be that day, like the end of the day, and they start like scaring. Why? Because the first thing you have to do is call the lawyer, call somebody, they know the law, they know the rights, and you can finalize and go to the next step. So it's like me, it's a bunch of funders and professionals that we are working as a volunteers. Because all the job we are doing to help the other ones. We have immigration service, education services, health department, job opportunity, and more. Why? Because all our lives is a complement. We cannot do this way if you don't work together. It's like I say, look, we have God, but God came from what? Son, Father, and Soul, right? It's three things. Here we are as a human beings. If I don't have the public, which is the government, if I don't have the private, which is the business people, if we don't work with the partners or the all participation of the organization, we cannot do our job. Because I always call, we have to be the PPP. Because if we don't work together as a partners, like human beings with Padre, Hijo, y Espíritu Santo, we cannot go anywhere. And I'm sorry, I got it in Spanish so we can be clear.
Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is what
That's
it.
There. Because in the land, because we are humans, we are here just to do His mission. To me, I always say that. Because tomorrow, if I pass away, I don't want to take anything with me. But what I'm going to do to the other ones, duplicate this job and do what they need to do. So thank you for having me today.
Yes.
Thank you. We are there to helping our people. We are there to give you the tools, to give you the knowledge, to do everything we can and do that correctly. We are not here to let them not break the law. Obviously, no. Never.
You guys are here
to give you the tools and the knowledge to do the correctly things. Because nobody wants to break the law. And this country, they open the doors for us, so we cannot destroy the country. And thank you so much for having us.
Yes. So I have a question for you. I have two questions. Because this podcast is listened all around the United States and even people out of the United States. Can someone in another state reach out to this organization?
Of course.
For guidance?
Of course. We are working with different states because our organization is national.
Okay.
And we can work everywhere. And, they keep calling. Since yesterday, we have a lot of calls from Texas. We have a lot of calls even from New Mexico. We have from Denver. And look, it's a lot of people, they came from passing the board, and they call us to ask what I need to do. And I told them, you have a paper, go to the lawyer. Give the lawyer the paper, they give you the immigration services. The lawyer is gonna give it to you the tools, if you have a case or not. If you don't have a case, don't break the law, do correctly. So we work with different states and we help them even if they are out of the state of Florida.
Okay. Well, you're saying with the paper, so anyone that gets, what is that paper? A paper they give you when you cross the border?
When they cross the border, they have a different, they have a incredible testimony. If they believe in what they say, they give you a form.
Okay.
Or they give you a parole, depending of the case.
Okay.
It's called, they start with 8 to 20, and then they start with 8 to 39, 8 to 45. They have a 8
Different
to 20,
forms.
different forms.
Okay.
But it's just one. Give it the information to them. Look, you have to report to the court. You have to do these steps. You need to file for lawyer. So you need to report to someone really knows what they're doing about the immigration services and show the papers so they can open one case. But the only person can help them is people that are working 24/7, like National Community Services, a bunch of lawyers for immigration services, help them with the correct information.
So guys, so basically, you know, the people that watch, you guys that are watching this or listening to this, you might not have crossed the border and you might not have received a paper, but you might know somebody that is in a situation, or you might have a friend or somebody that can benefit from these services. So make sure you guys pass this information on and give it to them. Also, business owners, right? Because we have a lot of questions, which I have a bunch that we're going to get into. We can also call for legal counsel. If
Yes.
you know, any business owner can call for legal counsel, and you guys can guide them on what they need to be, what they gotta have right to be, to not be breaking this new law that's gonna be implemented.
Of course, yes, the business owner, they can call us, we put it the lawyers, or even they can go to our office, they come to you.
Okay.
So they can make up appointment, they can discuss, because first of all, the new law, what they stated clearly, if you have more than 25 employees, you need to get the system to e-verify
The
them.
E-Verify.
Things.
Well,
so that is the first step. The new employees, the new business, the new corporation, they need to know, okay, now, if I don't have my e-verify, has a new business, has a new employer, what I need to do. So they need to call us, they need to get a legal advice with all our lawyers, and they're going to explain to them step by step how to make
do it.
sure and protect the business.
Okay, so E-Verify, guys, you could do it on your own, or your accountant or CPA can do it as well. And it's only for for businesses that have 25 or more employees, unless you're a contractor or it's something government based. So this is what's going to change. This is one of the things that will change. So and this is for W-2 employees only.
Only.
Okay, so if you do the W-9, the 1099, there's other ways of doing it, but that is not part of it. So if you have, let's say you have 30 people on payroll and 6 of them or 10 of them are 1099, then you don't have to do the E-Verify, because you only have the rest of them. You're under 25. That's a great topic that we could just stay on right now. So proper documentation for someone that wants to do W-2, they have to have a Social Security.
Okay.
Okay, or could they be a resident as well? They
The
don't have to
first
be a
thing
citizen.
to qualify with E-Verify, they need permit to work,
Permit to work.
Social Security, and ID from the state.
Okay, that's
So
if
3
they're an immigrant.
documentations that they really need to be E-Verified if they don't have a permanent resident.
Okay.
If they have that citizenship, is different. With the E-Verify, you have to put it that citizenship, Social Security, and ID.
Okay.
If you are permanent resident, Social Security, and the ID. Always is going to be driver license. Always is going to be the permanent resident and Social Security. But those they don't have permanent resident or citizenship, is mandatory ID, permit to work, and Social Security.
All right, so you guys heard, those are the things you need when you're hiring somebody. Those are the things that they need to give you, and they also should fill out an employee verification form. Everybody should have that with a signature at the bottom that they are who they say they are, and that the documentation that they are providing to their best of knowledge is correct. That way you get yourself out of any trouble that could happen down the road for you as a business owner. And then let's talk about the 1099s. So a 1099, you do not have to be a citizen. You do not have to be a resident, right? So how does the 1099s work, if you can educate us on a 1099? We know, guys, for you guys that don't know, a W-2 means you're an employee. A 1099 means that you're a subcontractor. You work for yourself. Okay. Talk to us about that. What documentation is needed to pay somebody legally with a 1099, or how should somebody go about it?
Perfect. Let me explain it to you. those they really are legal in this country, they can open a 1099 and they can do a 1099.
People that are not legal.
People that are not legal, they can open a corporation, LLC, but they have to open and apply for ITIN number.
Okay, so the
And
ITIN number.
This time, just listen to me, because there's a lot of people are creating and just keeping or stealing their money, because they say, I can open the W-7, which is the form,
Okay.
the IT number,
Okay.
but they cannot do it. Everyone, the new law stated clearly, if you don't have IT number this year, you have to report your taxes.
Okay.
And we submit together the taxes with the W-7, which is the IT number application, to the IRS. And the IRS give it back to you, the IT number, but had to be with the reporting taxes. They had to report taxes. In the past, everyone can get, which is with the passport or whatever, the IT number. But right now, they cannot do it. So if you are reporting taxes, go to an accounting service that they qualify by the government, by the IRS, organizations, and business companies. They are doing taxes. They be certified by the IRS, not just like
Yeah,
here.
an accountant, CPA, not
exactly.
just a bookkeeper.
Exactly, not just a bookkeeper, because you need to do correctly.
No, and the laws change. Sorry to cut you off. The laws change all the time. I know my accountant is always telling me, man, I gotta go read this book, and I gotta do this, and I gotta read these pages, and I gotta watch this, and I gotta go to this seminar, because the laws change so much that he has to be on top of it. Because think about the pressure that an accountant or CPA is under, especially with this going on here in Florida, and just in general. If they make a wrong decision and a mistake, it can cost them thousands or you thousands. So they have a lot of liability on their plate. But I want to get back to the 1099. So what would be, so you're speaking to business owners right now that employ people. And some of them, I know that some people listen, do have, let's say, ITIN numbers, and also the 1099. What is the correct way, or what do you suggest now with things that are changing, would be the proper way for a business owner to pay somebody 1099?
Perfect. This is very important, business owner people. Listen, you cannot pay the people, the owner of the LLC. You have to pay the company.
Wait.
Because
So you're saying that the employee that shows up for a job shouldn't get paid to their name, if I'm correct, and they should open an LLC.
To be paid
the
by
employee
the company
should open an LLC, and then you, the employer, pays them to that LLC.
Yes.
And what does that do for the business owner? Does it protects them?
Obviously, because they are not breaking the law, and the person, the owner or the corporation, he is doing the correct things.
So the employee is doing the correct thing by opening a corporation or an LLC, and then getting paid through that.
Exactly.
And then they can do their taxes and everything.
Exactly.
Just the right way. It's
just do
proper
the
way.
correctly way.
Okay.
Do the right way. Look, because there's a lot of people that come into this country. They don't have any permit to work. They don't have any residence. They don't have anything. So they open a corporation, but they cannot work.
Oh, because they don't have
obviously, they cannot work. That corporation is going to get the contract with you. For example, you want to certify a couple of employees, and this corporation is going to give it to you tools and things to how to grow better plants or all the area you work. So you have this corporation say, okay, let me contract this company to certify my employees.
Okay.
So that is so you don't pay the owner of the corporation.
Yeah,
you are paying the corporate. So it's the right way, the correct way to do it.
For everybody. I hope you guys listened to that and took notes on that, because that's something very interesting.
Exactly. And plus, remember, it's a couple of people, they have ITIN numbers. But they don't know how to do this.
And what is an ITIN number?
ITIN numbers is a number the IRS give it to you, has an identification number for you.
Okay.
That number is like in whatever area you are in the United States, they know you are here because you are doing the proper procedure to open the corporation and to request, you can, as a business, to request, the payment by your corporation. Because if you can, as individual, you cannot do it because you're breaking the law. And in that part, understand that our governor, that try to protect us, because this at this time it's really incredible that it's a lot of papers. They really have permit to work, they have a green card, they have everything, and they cannot find job. Why? Because a lot of people around, they are doing the job for maybe $8, because that
but I don't see that here. I feel like businesses today, if they want to bring competition to the table and actually stand out and be able to do what they want to do, they're gonna hire whoever they need to.
And plus, we have under the law the minimum salary.
Yeah, it's $11.
Thank you.
In September, it'll be 12 for the state of Florida. Guys, if you don't know, there was a law passed. It was a 5-year plan to get the minimum wage up to $15, and it goes up every September. We started last September when it was at 10. It jumped to 11, and then this September it jumps up to 12. But like I said, it's very competitive too. Right now, it's very competitive how everything is, because there's a lot of demand. So and if you guys have skilled traits where you're really good at something, that 12 ain't gonna cut it, and you have you have your resume that shows that you've made X amount over the years doing your profession somewhere. So the value is within you on what you bring to the table, and I feel like everybody should be, if you as an employee, you guys listening, should be doing your due diligence to learn a craft and perfect it. That way you can be rewarded what you deserve, and you get away from the minimum wage, the minimum wage number. So one thing that I noticed that I found on a lot of different websites is there's not enough information on what exactly the bill is who the bill is exactly going to target. So that it's very broad. So it's not something that it's pinpointing it to one category. Because if you look at immigration, there's hundreds of categories. Like you said, everybody's different. And I've heard millions of cases and different things just by me listening to people and what they say and meeting people. So that is something that I feel like what we know or what is out there information for us is very limited on who it targets and how it's going to target. Who.
And then it's very important they can go through our website, because we posted the information. First of all, look, the first thing is about the E-Verify. It's what everyone is running because they think, they're going to catch me, But we just explained it today. He stated clearly, if you have more than 25 employees. But it's our obligation to do E-Verify, because you don't want the employees came to your business and doing correctly things and you didn't check.
No, but E-Verify has been around.
Yes,
E-Verify has been around. I've been doing E-Verify for a long time.
Since Obama,
It's
believe
been
it,
a
it's
long
nothing that is
time.
happening now.
E-Verify is
But
not
the
new.
people don't know.
They're just making it mandatory, and it's always been mandatory. And now they're going to be putting it. They have it on a law to make it more pronounced. But E-Verify has been around for a long time. It's nothing brand new.
And another thing is about the hospitals. It's about to getting information to who
Which
is going
this is good too for you guys listening. Your guy's cutting lawn and he cuts his finger off, or he breaks his leg, or something happens. You want to know about this. So talk to us about what the hospital situation
The
is.
other point that he is going to sign on July 1st is about the people going to the hospital. If you don't have any documentation, they need to report that information.
Or even if you have an ITIN, or even if you don't have a residency or anything.
It's not just the immigrant people. It's to everyone.
Everybody.
But it's going to be in the case that people, they don't have documentation. So that is that.
Yeah, and so guys, from my understanding of it, it's not that they're going to neglect you or tell you to leave. They're gonna, as of right now, my understanding is that they're still gonna take care of you, but they have to report it. They're obligated as a hospital to report who came in, what's their status, and how much money they're spending on it. That's what I got from what I read.
And I give it to you all the points that we can go
we're
one by
gonna
one,
go over.
step by step. So they need to know, they need to read, because the acknowledgement is the power for you.
100%.
Because if we don't have education, it's a gift that nobody's gonna take away from you. Remember, education is that gift that nobody's gonna take away from you. If we don't read, if we don't go through everything that we stated today, and to clarify, if you don't understand, find somebody to explain it to you, but don't scare for no reason.
No, and you want a professional. You want somebody that's read the laws, that knows the laws, And that's why it's so important to reach out. I feel like a lot of people are creating a hysteria in their mind. They're making it more than what it is as of right now, because no one, what we have is a guideline. We don't know. You don't know to what excess or why this is being implemented. I do know they want to control people coming into Florida, and I get that 100%. But you guys can't freak out, and no one should freak out. You should be. If you freak out, it's because you're not informed properly.
That's it.
So that's the reason why people freak out, because they don't know. Because even as someone, let's say that doesn't have any paperwork at all, they still have some type of right at the end of the day due to the Constitution. So
the first right is just get it, whatever you have. If you catch and somebody catch you, put in your mouth like this.
Oh yeah,
it's the law.
Show
The
your
Constitution say that. So, and that's the reason you need to know about the history of this country. They need to know about the Constitution.
Yeah.
And remember, in National Community Services, we are doing classes for citizenship, English classes, everything is for free.
You guys are doing classes.
Classes because, and that way you are gonna, even if you don't get your citizenship, because you can educate everything what the Constitution say.
Yeah.
So you can get the acknowledgement and say, no, this is gonna not affect it because the Constitution say to do this, and that. But if you don't have that information, how you wanna defend yourself? So we always doing Monday, Thursday, for 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. with qualified teachers certified by the government to teach them English for free, citizenship classes, and we do another certified things for the people they have the permit to work and they don't have the qualification. For example, you can have a teacher from your country, but we prepare you how to do all your credits to be approved by Tallahassee and to see how much credits you have and how much more you need.
Oh, okay. So if you went to school in a different country, a different part of the world as a teacher, and now you come here and you want to continue your profession as a teacher, you guys will guide them and tell them how many more credits they need to be qualified for a teacher here in Florida.
We translate all the credits and by the certified people in the United States.
There's so many things that they do, guys, that there's no excuses. Like it is, at the end of the day, it's lack of knowledge, lack of knowing what is out there and how to prepare. Just think about, you guys call their offices as a business owner and you talk to them about whatever questions you may have. You're going to be very informed, very educated, and now you know exactly how to prepare for the new law so you're not breaking any type of law.
Thank you.
Because that's what we want to get away from. We want to be correct, and we just want to continue doing our business. We want to continue growing, continue going after our goals, continue executing all these different things, and we don't want this to be a huge mountain.
Exactly.
We want it to be just a little bump. Everybody learns what they need to do, everything gets done correctly, and we keep moving forward.
And thank you so much for supporting all the community.
Yes.
Because you are a businessman that some people say, he doesn't need to do this. But thanks, because of this job you are doing every single day, out there, people is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because that is the key to grow together, to get the acknowledgement, and to hold our hands and say, you are not alone. First of all, if God hold our hands, we are here to do the same thing. So I do really appreciate, because we need people like you every single day. We have organizations that we are working because people think that we get paid for this job. Believe me, we are volunteers. Under the law, we cannot get paid. We can pay everyone is out there working for the 501c3, but the board director, they cannot get paid. But this job is for people that really love
they're passionate
to help
about
the other ones.
To help other people.
And one thing that we totally forgot, look, the law is approved already for Salvador, Guatemala, Colombia, and Honduras.
What is it?
The law stated.
Okay.
You can ask, you can do the petition, you are citizen, you are resident, to keep them and come to this country legally. So it's a lot of ways to do legal stuff. So what, I'm gonna call my sister, oh look, come over here because I crossed the border. No, I'm citizen, I'm gonna do the petition. So That
if
is
you come
too,
legally.
exactly.
Yeah. No, guys, there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. And you want to do things properly, even if it takes longer than
but it's going to be legally and it's going to be correctly.
It's going to be correct, and then you won't have any problems, and you won't get involved into anything. That's for anyone listening that might be in that situation. One thing that pops into my mind here is I do know, so let's say there's somebody that they do transportation, and because there's companies and there's people that do transportation for vegetation, for agriculture. That's a there's the Haitian community, the Hispanic community. There's big volume of people here. So the person driving that bus with 50 people in it on their way to go work, you think that person should be scared that something is going to happen to them? And
that point, the law is clearly, you cannot drive with illegal or undocumented people.
Okay, so that's what it's saying right there. Okay.
That is non-negotiable.
Okay.
But why? It's just the state of Florida. If you cross Florida to there, so.
Well, this is bringing people into Florida illegally.
Thank you.
But running around town, you think we don't know exactly yet where it's at.
What is going to happen?
But there's 1,000 scenarios, guys. I feel like if this situation escalates, I'm gonna be doing another podcast.
Yes.
By myself, just talking about everything scenario wise and just a bunch of things, because I've been in the Redlands my whole life. I'm 34 years old, and I've been in this industry my whole life. So, I know a thing or two, or maybe three or four. And I want everyone to be prepared and just know. I love people at the end of the day, like you said, and that's why we put this together, to give back and to share, and that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
We love people at the end of the day.
Exactly.
There's one thing about driver's licenses, which if you are in another state and you're coming down, or you got a driver's license issued from another state that maybe doesn't have their laws as stern as these, and it's more flexible to get an ID, you're going to have to convert that into a Florida ID. You can't be running around with your New York license or Jersey license or whatnot. And at the end of the day, all the craziness that people are feeling, because I've had people reach out, even through Instagram. Oh, I'm going to lose half my staff. People are scared. Another person called and said, man, my main guy, he's thinking about moving. So there's people thinking about moving. The bill hasn't even
already.
And the bill hasn't even passed.
And they are moving already.
And they don't even know to what extent. We do not know to what extent this law is going to be applied, how it could be. So for you guys that are listening, you're freaking out, or somebody's freaking out, somebody's freaking out, get the knowledge first.
That's it.
Call these people, call the National Community Services, call anybody that has this, but mostly them. You can reach out to them and get guidance, so you can learn. They can appoint you somebody that can help you out and answer your questions, because everyone has questions.
Exactly.
We just need to know the answers.
Exactly.
And then your situation is different, like you said, than someone else. So it's just understanding that things are going on, things are changing, and you want to comply and be in compliance and be correct.
Exactly.
And that's really what it is. And this is why we did this podcast today, to educate you guys on what to do during this time. And maybe we have them come back on another time for something else. But I feel like today everything was executed that we wanted to talk about. And what you guys do as an organization, whoever came up with it, is great.
Thank you.
Because at the end of the day, people think immigration, they think Hispanics, and it's not Hispanics, guys. Yes. It's everybody. And the United States was formed. Columbus showed up.
Yep.
And he wasn't from America. Uh-huh. So that's what's great about America, that it's everybody. Uh-huh. It's a piece of the world at the end of the day.
That's true.
In one place.
I want to invite them to follow us and to go to our office. So don't scare, to get the acknowledgement, to get the correct information. We have a bunch of lawyers in any department. We have children and family, immigration services, labor lawyers. We work with all of them so we can give you the correct information. And I want to give you again the address and the phone number. We are in 305-303-3092. They are another phone number, 305-244-3125. And we are at 3951 Northwest 7th Street, Suite H, Miami, Florida 33126. Listen, don't scare. Be ready, get prepared. How? Educate.
Education.
You need to know everything what is going on with this law. Until the law will be signing on July, nobody knows what is going to really happen. Why? Because the law depends on the people who reads and understand. The law, everyone thinks they say this, they say that, but at the end, after when he signed, we are going to really know
where
it's going to apply.
And don't listen to your neighbor, don't listen to your friend, don't listen to your cousin that knows. No, call a professional.
Thank
and
you.
And get it from their mouth, because like she said, and I've said already, everybody's case is different. You want to say hello?
Janet,
Janet
let me
has
tell you
to.
something.
Janet's been quiet here, just hanging out. Janet, you have to say something. Say hello.
Hello.
Janet, another thing that we totally, Willie, one thing that I want to let them know, listen, people when they came and they apply for asylum and they are going to get a case, they scared about the law as about the emergency hospital and this and that. Listen, we qualify you to get insurance help.
Oh, wow.
We qualify you because we have your case. We know how we work with that. Just came to us. You
So
don't
they can
need
get
to
health
go. We know
insurance,
exactly
They
what
can get a license. They can get an ID. They can get
everything. We have the correct companies to do all of that.
Guys, if you know people that are running around like that they don't have any documentation at all, they need to reach out and call.
That's it.
That just be educated.
That's it.
That right there will solve so many problems. Janet said hello, so this podcast is gonna go viral.
That is great.
Guys, thank you so much, Marta. Thank you so much, Janet. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. All their information, all of it, is going to be at the bottom. Go to their website, check it out. You can see everything there. I haven't done it, but I'm going to do it right after this. And this might be a topic that we continue talking about. So, guys, get educated. You heard it. Get educated before you make any moves. And play back the podcast if you need any help when it comes to the W-2, the 1099. All right. And you can also reach out and they can guide you in that as well. All right, guys. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Plant Movement Podcast, this wonderful special episode. And as always, God bless you guys. And stay tuned for the next one because it's going to be fire. God bless. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this edition of The Plant Movement. Willie and Eddie invite you to connect with them on Instagram at both The Plant Movement Podcast and A's Ornamental Nursery. Those links are in the show description. Please leave us a well-worded 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help others find the show. And remember to tap the follow button so that you'll be notified when the next edition of The Plant Movement is available.